неї.
The Ukrainian Special Operations Forces, SSO, on Tuesday shared a video that it said shows one of its drones destroying a T-72 tank and other Russian equipment in the Donetsk region of Ukraine. The video was posted on the SSO's X, formerly Twitter, and Telegram accounts. An accompanying message said the Ukrainian military unit also took out 11 Russian soldiers during the strike. The Donetsk region has been the site of intense fighting in recent days. The Institute of the Study of War, ISW, think tank reported on Sunday that Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces have continued attacking the Donetsk town of Chasiv Yar. However, the Russian military has not recently made significant battlefield advances in the region. Heavy equipment and 11 enemy soldiers were destroyed in the Donetsk region, the SSO's caption to the video of the drone attack read. In its Telegram post, the SSO wrote a first-person view. FPV drone was used by the Medoyed tactical group of the 3rd Regiment during the assault. The mission also reportedly destroyed a Tu-S6 Tunguska anti-aircraft missile gun complex and an armored combat vehicle, in addition to taking out the 11 troops in the T-72 tank. The SSO footage cuts away after showing the drone zoom in on the T-72, but other explosions in the clip seemingly indicate the destruction of weapons. In its reporting on the video, the Kyiv Post noted that a new T-72 tank ranges from $3 to $4 million depending on the configuration, while an older Soviet T-72 can cost as low as $500,000. The Tu-S6 Tunguska anti-aircraft missile gun is a Russian anti-aircraft missile and gun system designed for the anti-aircraft defense of mechanized and tank units on the march and at all stages of combat, according to the Kyiv Post. Tuesday's SSO post is only the most recent example of the military branch reportedly finding success against Putin's forces using FPVs. Earlier this month, the SSO wrote that it had destroyed 2 Russian tanks with first-person view drones, which also occurred in the Donetsk region. That attack reportedly took out a T-72 tank as well as a T-90 tank. According to the Kyiv Post, the T-90 is a modern Russian main battle tank, with an export value of a T-90 going from about $2.5 to $4.3 million depending on the level of modernization. Russia is ramping up its attacks on Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, amid fears that Moscow may be gearing up for a full-bore onslaught across the historic region in the northeast. Ukrainian officials said that Russian forces struck down a TV tower in Kharkiv city Monday afternoon, causing the structure to partially collapse and disrupting television signals in the area. The attack comes as the city has been bombarded by airstrikes for weeks, and as Moscow officials have hinted at Kharkiv being a potential location to create a demilitarized zone along the front lines, according to reports by the Institute for the Study of War, ISW. Less than 20 miles from the Russian border, Kharkiv is home to roughly 1.3 million residents, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that the city holds great symbolic meaning to the country. It is Russia's clear intention to make the city uninhabitable, Zelensky told U.S. President Joe Biden during a phone call on Monday, according to a readout of the call reviewed by Reuters. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said during a radio interview last week that Kharkiv plays an important role in Russian President Vladimir Putin's plans to establish demilitarized zones as a way to push fighting away from Russian territory. According to ISW's Friday assessment of the Russia-Ukraine war, Lavrov referred to the plan as establishing a sanitary zone and told Russian state-owned media outlets that the Kremlin is completely convinced that it needs to continue its war against Ukraine. Prominent Kremlin propagandists have also touted plans for Moscow to seize Kharkiv. As ISW reported Monday, talk show host Vladimir Solovyov said last month that Russian forces should destroy Kharkiv city quarter by quarter, and suggested offering Ukrainian civilians 48 hours to leave the city, presumably before being killed. A separate Russian state-owned television channel, Tsargrad, also reported earlier this month that several unspecified military sources said that an offensive operation against Kharkiv was inevitable, according to ISW. The Ukrainian Center for Combating Disinformation has warned citizens against believing Russian sources that are spreading claims about individuals attempting to escape Kharkiv ahead of a potential Russian offensive, writing in an article in February that such reports are an informational and psychological operation of the enemy, which aims to demoralize society and sow panic. The ISW said on Monday that Russia was likely intensifying strike and information operations against Ukrainians in Kharkiv city to exploit ongoing constraints on Ukrainian air defenses and heighten tensions in Ukraine in the likely relatively brief window before the anticipated arrival of U.S. military assistance to frontline areas.
Внимание, батареи залпом 555.
Готовності спрацювати. Браво, готовності відходить.